Hello and welcome to the start of my new series here on YouTube. In this series, I will be creating large cities with detailed buildings using an array of mods to enhance realism. But most notably, I will be using the Minecraft Transit Railway mod to connect these cities with various means of transport. As you can see here in the background, I have terraformed around the side of this mountain. Here I will be creating the first city. This is a duplicate of a previous world I was working on. However, I wasn't happy with the design and layout of my last world. I then decided to make this build into a YouTube series, so here we are, starting from scratch. I started by drawing out a plan of where I wanted the main train station to be. The city will be named after the city I built in my previous world, Velare, so I'm going to name the main station Velare Terminal. This station will service 3 lines, the blue line, red line, and the purple line or airport link. I then planned the layout of the city tram line. In my previous world, the tram line was very messy, with a tram coming in either 20 seconds or up to 2 minutes. So the goal in the new version of this city is to make the tram more consistent and efficient. So let's get started on Velare Terminal. I always start my stations by building the platforms. Then I create a temporary depot and place down the trains that I'll be using at the station so I know where to place platform doors. Also, if you haven't noticed already, I'm using the Axiom mod for building. I find it easier to use and more efficient than building with World Edit. Most of this series will be recorded with Replay mod, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the cinematics. The above-ground platforms will service the blue line and the red line. The purple line will be on underground platforms, but that's coming a bit later. I'm going to start with the overground concourse first. I usually just build as I go, so there's not much of a plan with the layout of this station yet. I decided to make the main concourse on the north side of the station with a bridge over the platforms to what will be a smaller entrance on the south side of the station. I designed the north concourse to have the ticket barriers for the blue and red line in the center. The idea is that the blue and red line will be paid for since they'll service other cities, whereas the purple line is separate and won't have barriers because it will only service Velare Airport. Now I'm going to work on the south concourse. I'm building it into the hill to give access via escalators and elevators to the higher layers of the city. Now it's time for the purple line platforms and concourse. Similar to the above ground section of the station, the concourse will run perpendicular above the platforms. Here is where I started work on the tram line. I decided the south tram stop would make more sense to be underground but at the same level as the south concourse of Velare Terminal. I was originally going to build the viaducts using Crate's copycat byte blocks, but it ended up being too time consuming. I wasn't really getting the result I wanted. I opted to use viaducts from an MTR resource pack instead. Unfortunately, tracks are not visible using replay mods, so you won't be able to see the rails and viaducts until I finish the tram line. Now I'm creating the depot for the tram line. This is where trains spawn when you create a train line using the MTR mod. So here I'm using the railway dashboard to create the depot and add the trams. I used these trams in my previous world and I like the modeling and sounds. They're also not too taxing on performance, so I'm going to use them in this world as well. After creating the depot, I made the route in the dashboard for the tram line. This is so that the MTR mod can create a path for the trams to follow with the instructions that you give it. I'm giving the stations temporary names for now until I decide what to name the different areas of the city. Now I'm creating the schedule for the trams to follow. I currently have 4 sidings in the depot. This should be enough for a train every minute as it's only a short loop. I then tested the route to see if it was all running okay. I noticed that when the trams finished the loop, they reversed to the depot instead of going forwards, causing the trams to jam up. So I replaced some of the rail with one-way rail to ensure they went in the correct direction. I then used signal connectors at the junctions so the trams wouldn't get blocked. Now I'm building the remaining 4 tram stops. For 2 of the stops, I only built stairs and ramps using copycat slope blocks. The west and northwest stops are only elevated by 4 blocks, so there was no need to build escalators and elevators. I skipped out the north stop for now as I had an idea to incorporate the station into a building I was planning. I took a short break before building the final tram stop. I created some pathways and started adding a small amount of vegetation around the city. For the final tram stop, I decided to build it inside the city's main hospital. Veering slightly away from the modern style of the city, I'm creating the hospital in a slightly older style to add variety. To finish off the first episode of the series, I'm adding some more pathways and making a simple layout using wall blocks to plan where I might add buildings. I also built some escalators and elevators to different layers of the city. So with that done, I think we'll finish here for the first episode. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment any thoughts you may have. I'll finish off with a cinematic video of the progress so far. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for upcoming videos.